Kyo Kakuzu finds a cat-like alien sitting at the buffet table. Kyo is introduced to the alien as Eris, and the two have a brief talk until Kyo drinks too much beer and passes out. Kyo wakes up the following morning with a hangover and discovers Eris laying next to him in bed. When Monami Kinchi and Maki Itokazu visit Kyo, they misread the scenario, believing that Kyo brought a female home and forced her to cosplay all night before sleeping with her. They both depart immediately without stating why, after realizing Eris is an extraterrestrial. Kyo goes on a stroll to clear his mind and meets Aoi Futaba, who invites him out on a date. Aoi is interrupted by a guy on an automobile, whom she addresses as her uncle. He offers to drive her home. It is subsequently revealed that Monami is a CIA recruiter. Aoi is Momishi and works for the Japanese Immigration Bureau, and Itokazu is the head of an SF group known as Beautiful Contact, and they've all been given instructions to assassinate Eris. Monami and Aoi keep an eye on Kyo and Eris, each waiting for the right moment to strike. Itokazu and Beautiful Contact assault Kyo and Eris while they wait, and are ready to murder both of them until Aoi disobeys instructions to wait and rescues Kyo. She then produces to murder Eris, but Kyo begs Momoji to spare her, not realizing it's Aoi. She agrees, but as soon as she walks away, Monami emerges with CIA backup, knocks Kyo unconscious and kidnaps Eris, but not before Kyo notices Monami's watch and realizes it's her. Kyo meets Monami afterwards and asks her to assist him in his search for Eris. Monami seeks more assistance from Aoi, and after gaining assistance from his uncle, Kyo blackmails Itokazu and Beautiful Contact into assisting as well. They successfully breach into the military complex where Eris has been handed up to the DIA, only to discover that she has already escaped. As a consequence of Eris filing a report regarding grilled meat, the remainder of the Catian fleet appears above the city, revealing their presence and their purpose to negotiate a deal with the Japanese government. Due to Eris's disinformation, Eris and other high officials negotiate with the Japanese government over stereotypical school swimwear. When Monami and Aoi return to Kyo's home, they misread the 5 Catian ladies dressed in exposing attire standing in Kyo's living room. They express their desire to depart, citing the events of the previous episode as evidence of their status as traitors to their respective groups. Because Kyo's home is now a Catian embassy, Eris informs them that everyone inside is protected by Catian rules, and the 2 girls are welcome to reside there as well. One of the robotic servants is stolen by members of an unknown group later. Monami, Aoi, and Kyo are employed as formal embassy staffers by Eris the following morning. Monami learns of Aoi's emotions for Kyo and promises to assist her, yet Monami's behaviors throughout the episode lead to Aoi to believe that she too has affections for him. The episode begins at the Saitama Super Arena, which is crowded with members of the fanatical club underside of Kitten Paw, who are obsessed with cats. Antonia Morphiness, their leader, displays photographs of Eris and announces her to be their new idol of adoration. When Kyo awakens, he finds Eris dancing and acting erratically because she has scented silver vine spirits, an Asian herb that is said to be stronger than catnip. Dr. Jarrell enters and says that Eris is about to go into heat, which will cause her to have heightened senses, as well as congratulating Eris on having Kyo as her mating partner on her first heat, much to Monami's chagrin and Kyo's shame. She also sends Eris to Tokyo on a mission to, quote, observe the human economy, technology, and culture, which Eris interprets as bring back a lot of toys and games as keepsakes. On the way back, members of underside of Kitten Paw take Eris and Kyo from Monami and Aoi, putting them to sleep and live streaming Eris to the screaming fans of the band. Antonia's boat is where Kyo and Eris wake up. They're immediately welcomed by one of Antonia's maids, who present them with platters of delectable food. They plan to flee after eating, however Eris's power suit has been reduced owing to Eris being in heat, much to their dismay. Antonia, who is costumed as a huge asteroid, takes them to a playroom. Because the maids don't have the guests to either defeat their master in a game or lose purposefully, all of the video games have been altered to only allow 1 player, according to Kyo. Meanwhile, Aoi and Monami go to a weapon shop to replenish their supplies. They ask for a motorboat while they're there, but are informed that the only one was sold to director Kawasaki for his future film. The girls enter the site and outfit the boat with actual guns, but Kawasaki apprehends them and hires them for his film. Aoi destroys the ship's engines, but is apprehended by a Dogsia agent who is destroying the ship in hopes of capturing Eris. Aoi gets imprisoned by a stack of steel grinders and is then knocked out by a missile explosion, only to be rescued by Kyo, who is still wearing Eris's suit. As Kyo sprints to reach the aircraft, Aoi regains consciousness and confesses to Kyo, believing it to be a dream. Kyo accompanies Eris to a film shoot directed by one of his classmates, who's attempting to make a science fiction film and needs Eris's assistance in obtaining video of aliens without the use of special effects. They feel Eris seems to be too human, so they ask if they may use her ship or robots instead. Due to the ship's shape, the film seems like it's being held by strings, and the robots resemble chibi dolls. They decide to see a romantic movie. Eris's emotions go crazy when she hears this, and she hits Kyo, something she's done countless times before whenever someone says anything that sounds like romance. Meanwhile, Aoi strives to improve her culinary skills in order to please Kyo, but she wastes a lot of food owing to her frequent failures. Monami wants to practice shooting at the same time, but she can't do it in Kyo's backyard. Chika transports them to a virtual chamber aboard the mothership where they must satisfy their own wants without troubling anyone else. Aoi requests that Kyo serve as her taste master. Monami requests a shooting range with a diverse range of weapons, including an M132 minigun, which proves to be too heavy for her to lift. She begs Kyo to assist her in lifting it, but he informs her in a very Kyo-like way that he is unable to do so. Monami quizzes virtual Kyo on his thoughts of a variety of persons, finally settling on herself. He admits that he had emotions for her in the past, but when he saw her hanging out with Jack, unaware that she was her female CIA handler, he assumed that she was already seeing somebody and she became simply a buddy. Aoi offers the real Kyo a sample of cuisine she perfected with the virtual Kyo at home, only to discover that virtual Kyo had lied to make Aoi feel good about her cooking. Although Chika points out that the virtual Kyo and the actual Kyo have distinct ideas, Monami remains skeptical. Eris takes drugs at the conclusion of the episode, which, much to her dismay, will bring her first mating session to a premature end. She tearfully calls out to Kyo at the conclusion of the episode. Kyo, Monami, and Aoi have all returned to the school after the summer break. They're all surprised to see that Eris and Antonia, as well as Antonia's maids, have registered in the same class as them. After school, Eris and Antonia attract so much attention that Antonia's maids use Brugger and Tomet MP9s to frighten away other pupils. Kyo's clubmates inquire whether he would attend the film camp, and Eris is asked if she would want to accompany him. As a consequence, Eris, Antonia, Aoi, Monami, and Antonia's maids all join the film club in hopes of attending the camp. Meanwhile, because of their incapacity to self-repair, a gang of Dawsian assisteroids is looting electrical equipment from nearby locations. The Dogsian ambassadors show off a custom-made assisteroid that looks eerily similar to a Catian assisteroid. Kyo asks Aoi if she may speak to her about something private over dinner, but ends up asking whether she can train him to fight instead. When Aoi is alone, she understands that she is not the race for Kyo. When Eris comes, Aoi vents her frustrations on her. Suddenly, a young girl called Ichika emerges, and the camp is assaulted by the Dogsian assault droids at the same moment. They are quickly vanquished with the assistance of several Excel form cards, which boost Aoi's strength and speed. And later, when the specially designed Dogsian assisteroid comes to aid them in their struggle, Aoi and Monami plan to have a fight in a nearby forest to resolve their disputes, but their bout is cut short when they must team up to combat several assassins hired to kill them both. As a result, Monami emerges victorious. As the loser, Aoi is compelled to call Kyo by his first name, which he ignores completely, prompting Monami to lash out. Laurie, the first assisteroid produced by the Catians, pays Kyo and his companions a visit to fulfill a dying request of her Caters, who perished 1,000 years ago while attempting to reach Earth. It's Christmas and the Catians have decided to create a special gift for humanity. While Kun, the commander of the Catian mothership, pays Kyo a visit. The celebrations, however, are cut short as the Dogtians make an attack on them. With Kun out of action and the Catian ship on its way to colliding with the Earth's atmosphere, jeopardizing the lives of the captive Catian crews, Kyo is named the new leader of the Catian troops. The Dogsians spread false information leading to the suspension of all world rockets in preparation for a planned assault on the ship. As a part of their plot to assist their pals in orbit, Kyo and the others set out to an abandoned launch pad in Russia. First, a spy seeks vengeance on Aoi. Then an army of abandoned NATO troops mistaken for terrorists tries to stop them. Kyo and the others are able to launch while Antonia's maid army fend off the invading troops. Kyo hears Monami and Aoi declare their emotions to him, and Eris tells him that under Catian's law, all three of them may be his lovers. To combat the Dogsian fleet, Aoi, Monami, and Eris launch powered armor and jet platforms. While attempting to salvage the Catian ship, Kyo is compelled to alter himself using Kun's Captain Bell. The command ship smashes into its own orbiting station, plummeting to Japan after Eris, Monami, and Aoi kill out the Dogsian fleet. To halt it, Aoi flies alone, only for Monami to join her. They all embrace after Kyo's last-minute rocket rescue, only to discover Kyo has transformed into a cat boy. After resolving their issue in space, the Catians give humanity a fully operating space elevator that coincidentally resembles a Christmas tree. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you